Flosstube. My name is Haley, also known as Peregrine Stitcher, here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel, which is all about cross stitch. This is Flosstube number 18, and today is July 30th, 2023. Let me just pull up my notes here. This is going to be fairly short as I'm not feeling particularly great today, and I'm also not looking particularly great. But I'm going back to Chicago tonight from New York, and things will be going their separate ways. And this is really the last chance I have to show you everything all in one sitting. So I actually have 3 fully finished objects, 4 finishes, and just 1 whip. So lots of great stuff to see. I actually haven't been able to stitch that much this month, but I had a few things that were pretty close to finishes, so I focused on those, and I'll get to that when I get to updates. So let me start with my fully finished object. So I got 3 pieces back from the framer this week, and this is the first time I'm showing you this finish, but this is The Rose and the Giant Pear by Hands Across the Sea. And I got this big chunky frame, which I just love. It's a fairly small piece, but I think this just makes it really stand out. So I stitched this on 36 count 90s Nirvana by Needle and Flax using DMC. So I just love this. It's going to go on my sampler wall in Chicago. It's very heavy. Okay, put it down now. Okay, so we're gonna go from small to medium to large. So the next piece I got back from the framer is this one, the TGA sampler by Just Stitching Along. And this is done on 32 count Fiber on a Whim Milk and Honey using floss from Stash. The main reds are by Roxy Floss Co., and the brighter red is Lucille and the darker red is Falu Red. So again, just love the way that this turned out. I changed the cat to be a black cat for Oliver, and I changed the TGA initials to HH for my initials. So this will also be going back to Chicago with me if I can fit it in my suitcase. I'm not sure. I am only taking a carry-on, so I'm not sure if it'll fit or not. We'll see. Sorry, I still have the wrapping paper around them. Okay, and then this is my big one. Excuse me 1 second. I don't know how I'm going to fit this in the frame, but we'll see. So this is Pandemic. It's huge. I got it framed. Maybe I'll just slowly pan down here. There we go, just barely. Yeah, I think it turned out great. I got this beaded frame, and it has just a little bit of a hint of pink in it, which I think goes with the floss. And I just love how this turned out. I look at it and sometimes I can't even believe that I stitched it. It's so much stitching. It took a long time, but I loved how it turned out. So I'm really excited to have this back. This is gonna stay here in New York. So yeah, big pieces, really excited. Okay, let me carefully put this down. I do not want to break that frame for sure. Okay, I'm back. So those are my 3 FFOs, and then I have also 4 finishes. So let's see here. Just go in the order they're sitting here. So I did finish the Scarlet House, Martha Evans, 1879. And this was the birthday sale for Brenda, from Brenda and the Cereal Starter. This is so much fun to stitch, and I really enjoyed it, and I love how it turned out. So here we go. It's stitched on a 40 count Hemingway using MPI silks. And I did change the quote from the religious quote to a quote from Hamlet by Shakespeare. Yeah, this above all, to thine own self be true. Which I like to think that Martha Evans had at least a chance of having some knowledge of that quote in 1879. Because it was only 2 lines versus the 4-line verse in the chart, I just repeated the this little purple pattern and adjusted the things at the side to make it symmetrical. And I must have counted wrong on the bottom line, so I ended up with this little space. So I moved the crown that was over here to at the end of the line there, just to kind of make it look right. I think it's okay because everything else in her sampler is very symmetrical. And then I just replaced the crosses with my initials here. So you can see, yeah, an H here and on the other side. So yeah, I think it turned out great. I'm actually gonna miss working on it. I had so much fun. But onward and upward, I have to figure out what to do next. Okay, the next finish I have here is Mary Snow by Hands Across the Sea. And this is done, let's see here. This is done on a 36 count Weeks Dye Works linen using DMC floss. I did make a mistake, a couple mistakes on this one. So I don't know where I miscounted, but when I got down here, this was too small, so I kind of just had to adjust right here. You can see that this vase has one less space than this one. And then also something happened here with the border and I ended up with a little space. So I just put my year and the initials as if it was intentional, but it was not. But I think it turned out okay. I love the colors in this one. It's gonna look great on my sampler wall. Go in a little bit so you can see it. This is done 2 over 2 on 36 count. Sometimes I do 1 over 2, but this one needed 2 over 2 to have the right amount of coverage for me. And I think it just makes the colors really pop. So yeah, this is fun too. Okay. The third finish is Florence Mary Dickinson. This is also a sal that I started in January of this year. And I was just kind of going at my own pace. So I actually finished it this month, also by Hands Across the Sea. This is a big one, actually, pretty big. So there we go. So this is on 40 count Creme Brulee by Tabby Cat using DMC. And I did change out the color of that main flower from the bright orange and yellow to a more neutral pink and yellow. But I didn't make any other changes. Well, I did, the deer's eyes were red in the pattern. I changed them to brown. I don't like creepy deer on my samplers. So yeah. Again, I don't know if I would choose a fabric with this level of modeling in the future. It's pretty intense. I think it'll look great once it's all framed, but it was a little bit hard to work with, and like, so, you know, you can hardly even read Florence down there. But the border was just gorgeous. even though it was a little fussy, and I'm really happy with the final result. Yeah. So those three will all be going to the framer soon, and so my sampler wall is really going to start to fill out here pretty soon. I'm excited about that because I'm taking the 2 back, and then with these 3, that'll be a total of 5 more on my wall. So yeah, that's going to start looking pretty good. Okay, the last finish I had, this is just a little one. I just happened to have it in one of my project bags, so I started it. This is Sing After the Storm by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And we got this at Stitch North. And my understanding is that this is the first of a 5-part series that are meant to be, I guess, stitched and then sewn into a 9 patch. I don't sew, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But this is so exquisite. I started working on it and I couldn't stop because it was just so beautiful. It's very small, but look at this. Absolutely gorgeous colors. So this is on 40 count Hemingway. I just used the scrap that was left over from Martha Evans. The kit came with a piece of 40 count Panettone, but I decided to save that for something else since I had this scrap available. And I think I have another piece of 40 count Hemingway in case I want to do all 5. I am going to get the other 4 because this is just fantastic. I mean, look at those birds. The colors are just amazing. So it came with the Panettone linen, and these are the Roxy Floss Co. flosses. But again, I decided to use Hemingway instead. So I heard that the next part number 2, is coming out next month. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And this is just a lot of fun to stitch. It's very tiny and just beautiful. So yeah. And then the last piece I worked on, and this was the only thing I worked on when I was on vacation earlier this month, Modern Folk Embroidery, Song of the Nightingale. And I actually got a good amount done on this too. So previously I had just finished this panel here on the right. So I did a good chunk of the middle. Love these colors. This is on a 40 count porcelain by Roxy Floss Co. and also with Roxy Floss. The dark blue is Great Lakes, the medium blue is Deja Blue, and the pink is Oink. But I love how this is turning out. And I have this in this bag that I also got from Evertote, so I like the fact that they coordinate very well. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's just gorgeous. I'd like to have it done in time for Jacob Palooza, which is coming up in October. It's like 2 months away, so I'd like to have a couple of Jacob's pieces done that I can take along. And I'm hoping others will bring theirs along as well, so we can all enjoy looking at the different projects. Let's see. I have one sort of physical piece of haul that I can show you. I haven't been doing that much shopping. I've been framing. But I got this kit, which is September's Revenge by Maximum Cross Stitch. And this, I guess, is for Sampler September. And it's from Evertote. The kit is from Evertote, so it came with this gorgeous project bag. And little Notions pouch, and the Roxy Floss Co. flosses. So I just need to figure out which linen I'm going to do this on, and I'll definitely plan on starting that for September. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. I can't wait to start this one. Okay. The other haul, I don't have it here with me, but I can tell you what it is. And this kind of goes into why I haven't been doing a lot of stitching because apparently cross stitching has given me tennis elbow. And yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. You know, my whole life I have held the Q-snap or the hoop with my left arm and stitched with my right arm. And I turned 50 and my body was like, well, you're not doing that anymore. And my whole arm was just, it was in so much pain and it would like freeze, and I couldn't do anything like lift up my phone or turn a door handle or put my luggage in the overhead bin. So I'm getting better. I got some physical therapy exercises to do. I got this compression brace. And most importantly, I ordered a lap stand, an Elon lap stand, which should be in Chicago when I get back, because I'm just not going to be able to hold anything up with my left arm for any length of time anymore. So I'm going to try that and see how it works. I thought about getting a floor stand, but I like to stitch kind of like with my feet up, just kind of kick back and relax. So I don't like the idea of having to sort of like sit up and stitch at a floor stand. I'm going to try the lap stand first and see how that goes. And, I might have to try other options after that. The only other thing I ordered this month, and I don't have a printout here with me, but I did go ahead and order the Fiorlanda sampler from Modern Folk Embroidery. If you haven't seen Jacob's video about that, it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks super intimidating, but if something is difficult, that's one more reason to do it. So I did get the full, huge, big version, and I might start that for Black Sampler November. So I'm thinking about fabric and floss, and we'll see where we go from there. Let's see. Oh, I got one that's Stitchy Kindness. I got this lovely card from Susan, the Blue Crab Stitcher, when I turned 50. I love this. From Sally O'Malley, SNL. I hope 50 years old makes you kick and stretch and kick, because you're 50. I am. So thank you so much, Susan. That was so sweet. And she also sent this little sticker that says, to practice any art, no matter how well or badly, is to make your soul grow. Totally agree with that. Okay, so I think that's all I really have to show you in terms of updates. My trip to Portugal was amazing. Portugal is such a beautiful country. I put some pictures on Instagram if you want to see them. It was just great. I mean, the food was great. The people are very friendly. There's so much culture and things to see. They still seem to be quite traumatized by this earthquake that happened in 1755. Like, literally everywhere you go, even if it's like to a restaurant, you're like, well, this was here in 1755 and this was destroyed, and it literally comes up multiple times a day. So that was interesting to me. But it's a gorgeous place to visit. I strongly encourage you if you have the opportunity. And then since then, yeah, I've just been busy with work and back and forth and trying to figure out my elbow situation. My youngest is coming out to Chicago in a couple of weeks to visit for the first time, so that'll be fun. And then she's gonna help me drive my car back from there to New York so that I have a car here in New York, which will be convenient. And I'm gonna get another car to have in Chicago. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. So as for plans, I haven't done any work this past month on the Modern Folk Embroidery 2023 Sal or Mary 395, the Bristol Red Sampler. So I want to work on both of those if I can figure out how to do it with my elbow. I usually put those on a 11 by 17 Q snap, but I might not be possible. I have to check out how this lap stand works. And then I have to figure out some new starts now that I finished these big projects. So I'm checking out samplers. I really want to do Sarah Millthorpe. I'm just dying to start it, but it's not out yet. So I'm going to try to be patient and wait for it to come out. So I've just been sort of browsing and shopping in the meantime. And next time I see you, I'll let you know what I decided to do. So hope everyone is doing well and having a great summer. It's pretty hot out, but I guess it's summer. So fall is coming soon. So take care. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I always love hearing your comments, and hope to see you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.